and Emma Lowe, Chahojifka dos. Ambalsio and Ujarat, Fixiko do Yedidos. And Balich in a bargain, or legit. It just worked to it. I'm a legged and uis, my chaswa, on it. Said, Amidal what? Ajina Hachidalzi, always. And Ajulagangi Punahoyan Emabo Hejayat Lojabugi and Mafacha Awi Adidandos Gon Agite Jeduis Mastet Ajulagi Mundo much Pokajidaya Sansigo Hagibidonka Mes Mui Fachan Maragan Buhaya Diduis Madlojabugi Mes Okmalgi Fachan thought you know what? And tell say it under West Maragat, Solgin, I have met a lot of people. I'm going to have to put English in there sometimes because I kind of forget, how to put my words together. And Ponayan, Chahoktaliha, Unduezen, Mahyahayan Chahoktaliha Gibat, Manitegi, Punahuigo Donka. And Ajulagidon in station, Punahuigo Don. Sten imbonay gidaya sansa sa guhagip ka stihet ki imbonaga din ko sin stimbonaho idon man stimos and muy dan stihagiben and like me goes up ka jokodes fulak nat ikkinakaigi ajulagis ko wak ni station stihet ki punakamen punahon aso sa baklan mabuhet dege duis Sejadi bonaka de skilted. Ponaho don't know what. Munga silkinaka don't know what. Pidagi ya abugat. And Kitako says, Mungat, maybe one or two words. Chawagi wedis. Ilkinakat. Sejadi bonakan kilti don't know what. Mu wedis, agilte jedui, Chocolako des, madabungi that, Owen. You see all the changes. It's just gone. It's just gone. It just, and this, Amosostagi Oji Hagidon, Imbonaka and this station. We don't know what you're saying. Talk to us in English to get Jagidon. And, but I still throw Stajari words at them. Monayak I do it, not Marundos. Get Monayak I don't. And Nakamungat Hombas, Vegas, Nakamoat. Get Lagidui, But Naks and Solgi, Lekit Monegidayat, Nakit Nagis go on. And just like one time, we was in Walmart, Tlaji, and my grandma used to niti lumhibiat nak onakoji madon dos mak amunai don we madat. And there was one that always kind of stuck with me. It used to be about a waka hunawat sungirol and waka hoktawat hubot after what and hayoin yehegit and mawaka hunawa and hubuadi duis mak anyehagen. She said willy daddy he willy mo mak mawaka hubuadi duis magamadad. That's what I tell my grandkids. One time we was in Walmart tlaji don nakstin hoyobi atakol doing, and then pretty soon those and two boys, they started singing Willy Daddy, he Willy mo makakit. There were some stajadis close by, and I thought, y'all shut up. I said, they might think I teach y'all Indian medicine. But things like that, we don't even hear stories like that anymore. Saasigo hagibiron, ma ajulagides. sige go hagip ka, nak stimuna huadi, ya manit tagi mo janita for lot. Monaida ko ang ni station. These old phones, so you don't know what. Esto full Stima fasta kahanisik, kun agita jeduwe, cause sometimes I can moan, and say, maka says, that awful day. They don't even look at me, They just stick to keep their old eyeballs on that phone. Kun, nak sulugis stimunahu adi, pina manitik and muneda stiat ni stoesen. I hoktalito stigung hui de zoin, mungat. Huvone madat and a hogedes, I don't get hoche zoin. Tahu ahued, tahi jagat nagishagodoin. And I used to tell my grandma, nagishagodo ad hotes get then. She used to say things like, naktes tuahando nois, munga naktes bahando agis, magamadat. Nowadays, you tell that to your kids and it don't even faze them, I don't know how you would say phase and creak, but it don't even bother them, You might hear maybe something fall or you think you heard somebody walking, and you repeat that to somebody in the house and it don't bother them. It's just, you're just out there on your own once you get old. So there's still a lot. Stand that chocolate going, no what. What is yajak no what? Mungat naktes is the yajak not imbuhak sama hogan. Hoyanak madat. Nowadays, nobody does that anymore. Nobody, not even hardly the churches, Holakat. But manatos tigum way going. You just go and come back out, But I've noticed one church, and that's Sand Creek. Not. Those young people, they come and say, do you need help? I said, no. I said, I can manage, but that's the only ones that have ever offered me any help. And to me, you miss the friendship from the younger people. The younger people, I know it's go jog is to go down, I know it's go jog is to get somewhere down. You see it, I wish I could really talk in Creek and they all understand, but they can't. They can't understand, Some of them might be able to understand what I'm saying, but they all can't, and like our Creek language, mades, punahon is tuesan, mamahakadjoko, aleji jayat, tihet kibunak, kintay si godon. And first grade, 2 years, aledi dui. And that first time when we started to school, we got tied up in our desk. They tied us up in our desk. And somebody said, well, that was child abuse. And I said, no. I don't feel like it was, because the teacher that I had her for 2 years, and she was a real nice teacher. But I said, that wasn't no child abuse. I said, we didn't understand, and she didn't know how to make us understand, so I felt like she tied us up to our desk. And, I've went through a lot, by not knowing English, a lot, and now it's like I'm losing my language, not Malagidayat. There's a whole bunch of things out there, but I may not be able to get those words out to you clear enough for y'all to understand, And so even when I was going to school, today, and they give to the tribes, give for language. To me, that's just a waste. You've got to know these languages in the home, and it's not there in the homes anymore. It's not there anymore, and you just can't say homebox and oa and all of that. That's not no language, because some of the words, I have went to some of these classes, and those words are pronounced different from the way I heard growing them up. Just like one time, they brought up the word hawk, and ayo, tsaka hojin. And I thought, I used to hear my grandma say, hayo, you know, mahogin, mahayon kitet, chahok tala di duat. But I thought, now I have to change it up to ayo, you know. And I never could really make myself go to those Creek classes, you know, because I kind of wanted to learn how to read. You know, I can't read, you know, but as far as speaking, I think I could talk to anybody in Creek. And but like I said, I would have to throw in an English word in there to get it across to them, you know. So I'm not really smart, you know, in the way of speaking. You know, I've heard a lot of people speak, you know, and you know, it's just not there anymore, you know, because you don't have nobody to talk to you at my age, you know. And it's like even some of them that are like my sister and them, one of them's, they're in their late 60s, maybe 70 now. They can't speak, you know. Not, you know, because it's not that well, you know. So we just talk to each other in English, you know. And so, but it all needs to be taught at home, you know, kung way do it, you know, so, and I don't know what else I can say. There's still a lot, but I don't know what else y'all want to ask me. I'll answer whatever y'all want me to say. Okay.
So when you were saying that little saying with your grandkids in Walmart, what was you saying?
They were saying, they said, Willie, Willie, Dottie. He, Willie, Mo. That's what the old heifer was saying, calling the bull. That must have been his name, Willie, Willie. And there was another one that she sung to me, and it would come out, and Hoktojit Atadis, and Stibabat, and he captured her. But she got away from this Stibaba. This Stibaba is, I guess a lion. Wouldn't it be a Stibaba? Lion. But she got away from him, and she was running home to her brothers, and she was the only girl out of probably about 4 brothers. And she was saying, Ambaraka Bafnaschi, Chajitagi, Aboga, Tataka, Salatis, Makadis, Maklitkadis, I tell them that, you know, and they pick up little stuff like that, you know. So, and they're just as dark as you can get them, but they pick them up because they're half, you know. But yeah, there's that's things that, you know, she used to tell me too, you know, things like Nitaojin, Stijadek, Shiguhagatis. She used to say that. And when she would tell me that, I would think, are all of us Indians going to die off? You know. But it wasn't that. It was all of these intermarriages and maybe and inokida hiligat oji ojatis mahongi mada mojanita man sotejagit asabaglagit pon, you know, pon misti sulgi pogibidon ya covid mahongat, you know, hayat man pon hijahan doga de nokwa de don man sabaglagit roskon agitla jerui, you know, because I've even lost a sister with that, you know. So, and it's not nothing, you know. And my grandma used to say, "Ishtit inokida hiligat oji noat imbingalichus imbingalich noat chin hitchkalis mahogimada." You know, I try not to keep from getting scared of it, but you know, sometimes I'll catch myself with the mask on And I did get that COVID, but it was just light, which I was thankful because I lost a sister with that. Because she got pneumonia in both lungs with hers. And so we've lost a lot of people. Muy facha, not more this mahogan, you used to think about it, but we're there. We're there today, stungidahan. Mungat is this stungal this mahogan puhamadat. We're there. Mungat pidak this ichkegi, ikki. Pasaragi ojatis mungat pidak manitek, ichkegi. Pasaragatis mahogan madat. We're there. We're there today. We're seeing that happen. Nang mogi sulgi na gite jedui, naktes. Mungat nita ojan yakan halwi ojat pakdogamach. Yakan halwi ojat. Nak punat te aso si ojatis. Hijages ojatis. Mahuki madat. Now you hear about stuff all the time, about they're seeing people that don't know what they are, or maybe wolves, those things have been around for ages. 20, 30 years ago, mo instindet stimunaho and kithit, isti japchagit fuladi dugis, isti mahogan buhit, stahoktala di dunga. I knew that there was stuff out there, but I didn't look for them, But nowadays, these stihitkis, once they got wind of it, or once they saw something, now they're all going after them, and Bevik check this, they're all going after them, and it's weird. It's weird. Nobody would have never believed that it's Indian 20 or 30 years ago, if we had come up with something like that, But it's all there, Not mogi, I get that jedui, Because I told my sister one time, I said, ma sijap chad and mahogat, ninu walking he what? I said, I had a beg it, and I'll roll him off the road. Good, do is get. And they said you wouldn't either. I would save his life, because I always think, they must know a lot of Hiliswa to have survived as long as they have, without people seeing them. Just like they always say, you're someplace and they say, don't go in this area. You'll get lost. You grew up not going in this area. But, you Betty Tiger, Oma, Jaeger dem bevatchan legidimage. And Dafam was in this Hubagadados, get Timothy, and so, and other Zakahin, Ahoy, much we got past this gate, the boat Hoy, no. And I saw a patch there, and Betty said, "Well, let's not get it here. Yada hobuhirach tishong giduis, magin so." And I thought, how would we get lost right here by the gate going? So I went down a little ways, and then she said, I told her, I said, "Well, I'm gonna stop here." Then she said, "Okay, magin," and she went further on down, and that was down here at this, and Wewoka Creek, right off of Wewoka Creek. And so I got what I wanted, I just wanted a little handful. So I got what I wanted, and she was still picking. And I said, "I'm through, Betty." Then she said, "Monat, let me get these." And I said, "Okay." And and when I raised up, I saw a house. He damaged. Chocolati legan. Come in. Chocolati legat. How come I didn't see it when I first come in? I didn't move. I just stood there. And I thought, I don't remember a blue house being there. It was about the color of that water cooler over there. And then I looked around the ground, and the ground looked like it had been plowed over here and back up this way in an L shape. And I didn't know what to think. So Betty said, "Well, are you ready?" And I said, "Yeah." But I had hollered at her and said, "Betty," I said, "whose blue house?" Then she said, that's my house, tsaka much. And I thought, now she don't have no blue house. I know she got a white house, but she don't have no blue, so that's why I didn't move. And so talakin, we was going out, and I said, Betty, I said, Chasungitos, I said, in your house, hulati ang haktua wekurados, Gajan, so my gate kabut hoya, and then I looked up again, her house was white. Muin hijamado, so if somebody says, don't go in this area, don't. She made a believer out of me. Yeah, she made a believer out of me. And there's things like at a ground too. You know, I really don't want to get into and my ground, but like our ground down there, we don't have ahilis haya because, you know, hilis haya ojak ni station. Palibakchov makpreho jurundoezen. You know, that's not our way. You know, you've got to have somebody that belongs to that ground, that knows your ways from that ground, how it's fixed from the start. Namawagat. Ojurundoezen. You know, you just don't go out and worry a medicine man, and you don't want to turn your words over just to anybody, because the way people get iliski nowadays, they might get iliski and carry your words off to another ground and make medicine for them. So that's why we have held off as long as we have, you know, because we don't have anybody to step forward and tell us to get going, you know. But we go down there and keep up the place every day, and my grandma Magadimat said, "Tell Segi solgirun dos ya facha Magadimat Magadan and I guess man mego sa kadjokon fully, you know, ajulagi hagi ichkegi des sasagis go hagip ka, and they stick, you know, they stick with their grounds, you know, which is the church, you know, and so like us, we just have to take what comes in and wants to set up camp. So, but anyway, there's a lot of things that one could sit down and tell all of these young people about, you know, because that's all I thought about, you know, when y'all asked if I could speak, you know, and I thought, yeah, I can do it. But, you know, it's hard bringing it all out in our language, you know. It really is, you know, because like I said, even with me being Pali Chinabagi, you know, I've about lost it, you know, because nobody else talks to me in our language, you know. And I don't have nobody. So, but anyway, there's a lot of things out there about the do's and don'ts that you shouldn't do in life, you know. Na mawaga stike hojin and stajolari dos kon agest hejeru, you know, like hokti des, you know, istajoja hanna ahogen naskabo hotego stike hojin. You always want to know why, you know, or mungkat the bades wakachino ada hagi wakigot stike hojin, you know, stilk dala dirunga, and like a lot of us probably still know that, you know, like probably like Dora and probably those two over there, and probably Talana don't know. And probably Deborah back there probably still remembers hearing some of those things, you know. Yeah, so there's a lot of things out there, you know. So how much time I got left?
Well, I don't want to hog all the questions.
Okay, go ahead and ask anything you want to ask.
So I know that the stomp grounds are very important to you.
Yes, they are.
But with the language slowly dying out, do you see our stomp grounds, the fires dying because of that?
Because of that.
Because of our language dying out? If we don't
No,
learn it.
it's just the participation. It's the people are lazy. I'll just put it that way. They're lazy. They don't like to cook anymore. You know, they're not dedicated to the grounds. They're not dedicated to the churches. I see that everywhere. Not just the grounds. It's dedication from our tribe members, you know. You've got to have that dedication and the love that goes behind all of that, even for the churches, for the grounds, you know, it's not there anymore. That's what it is, you know. I mean, dedication, I mean, there's a lot of work to being dedicated, you know. It's a lot of work, not just the ground, but the churches too, you know, because you've got to, you know, if you're a woman, you've got to get in there and cook for the people, and same way down there, you've got to cook for the men and all of that, you know. And that's why, just like our ground, when we have green corn, that's a new year. The little bit more Jesse is what they would call it for us Tajadis that go to the tribal grounds. So a little bit more Jesse, July. I mean, or whenever they have it, July, May, or when. But ours was always in July. It was always around July 15 or 16. And and when they had a meeting, those men, you know, they wouldn't tell you what the meeting was about or anything. They'll say, you're a woman, you're not supposed to know, so don't even ask, you know. And so when my brother was the acting chief before we lost him, I asked him, I said, Jeff, I said, y'all always say, nagit chimabagi gundos, hukta gidundo artis. That's what y'all always tell us. But why do the women open up the new ground with a ribbon dance? Why? Gajan, he couldn't answer me that. You know, couldn't answer me that. Because when we open it up, the night before the ribbon dance, which is on a Friday morning, you know, you do it in a fasting way. And that Friday morning, the leaders that they had asked, 2 singers and 2 lady leaders, you have to be fasting. And so that's why I always ask questions like, you know, if we don't have no say so, I said, why do we open up the new year for y'all? Get that? You know, I ask things like that, you know, and there's a lot of things I ask, you know, that I don't never get an answer for, you know, like even in the churches when I go, you know, or I used to ask my husband a lot of things about why this and why that, you know, just like my, I want to say it in Creek, but you know, my, I'm going to say it in Creek, Talani, but my nephew, he was 19 when he died. He had cancer in his blood cells. And he told his mom, his grandma, said, Grandma said, where did they take me last night? And she said, they didn't take you anywhere. And she said, well, they took me somewhere where there was a lot of lights. And then we come to this house that had a bunch of doors that said it had enter on top of these doors. And my sister said, well, did you enter one of those doors? And she said, no, I didn't enter a door. And and so my sister-in-law, she was telling me that. And I told her, I said, next time he tells you that way, Malia, I said, Inagin kejigot. I said, just tell him they took you down for x-rays, or that's what it was. Just don't say anything else to him. After he passed away, I told my sister, I said, you know, I said, don't you know in the Bible where it says, in my Father's house there are many mansions? I said, those doors could have been one of his mansions that he was supposed to go into. And these other doors, probably different nationalities that he has seen. Not Mvto. He probably saw that. That's what, you know, I answered her, you know. And she said, I never thought of that, you know. Well, so there's a bunch of things that we all see or hear that it don't really hit us right then, you know. And I guess that's the way it did her, you know. But there's a lot of the stuff that, you know, I could probably just keep going on and on and on, you know, but you don't want to hear 80 years of it, you know. Because I'm 80 now. So, but anyway, is that about all? Okay. I think that's about all I can say, because there's not a whole lot that I can say about my ground down there, because it's just, you know, I just don't want to make a mockery of anything, you know. And I always felt like, you know, that's a place for you to take care of, you know, just like their churches, you know. You have to take care of them. You have to take care of them. Something that I grew up hearing down there was Iaskida, Anogitska, Hitomga, Mahogan, Buhet, Chahokaliha. So that's what, you know, everybody needs to teach their kids that, you know. Ma Iaskida and Anogitska. That's what you really need, you know. Well, I guess my digo says, Manga is, no judge, I get that I'm going to be quiet. Well, I guess that's it then. Shut it off. Hey, did you turn it off? Yeah,